This is code.org. Let's see what we have. In Array Manager, do we have ooh, new class. Cool, okay. Write a create numbers method, a method. Let's see. Oh, they already gave us the method here, the signature they made. Okay, so to declare, initialize and return an int or an integer array to store 10 values. Okay, so an int array. Now, we just started learning about this, right? Ints are, they're not technically a list because that's a different thing in Java, but I'm just going to call it that for now. So ints or arrays are lists of content. So, 1, 2, 3, you can store multiple values together. Now, notice how they worded this though, to declare and initialize and return an int array to store elements. So they're not asking for us to initialize values or to define it, to put in numbers ourselves. They just want us to give it the space. So we create a variable and we say, yes, this has room for 10 values, but we don't necessarily populate it. And you might be like, Mr. Geyser, that sounds complex. How? Use your resources. I do. Let's look at show me how. I'm actually just going to copy this because it's super helpful. And yeah, why not? Paste. All right. So what this is, data type. Well, they gave us the data type, int. So cool, int. It's int. This thing here means it's an array. It means it's more than one item. Now, variable name, we can kind of pick of 10 elements, method to declare, initialize, create numbers. I'm gonna call mine ARR for array. They didn't really give us what to call it technically, so that's fine. R. I'm a pirate. R. Anyways, and then I'm gonna do new, and what's the data type? Well, we just said it's int, right? And then they also gave us the length. And so you might be wondering, wait a minute, but what is this actually doing? What it's actually doing, and we do need to return it, right? What it's actually doing is creating that empty list. There's nothing in this, right? But you can put stuff in it. And so that's all it's doing, is it's giving back when someone calls this method. It says, here's this new thing, this new variable, and it's an empty list. You could put 10 numbers into it. An array isn't technically a list, but it is. All right, that being said, okay, so now we need to get the length of numbers. I have no idea length of numbers. This is create numbers. Where would get numbers? That's fine. Return numbers. Okay, that's kind of confusing, guys. At the very top of this, we have a variable that is accessible throughout the class. It's private variable numbers. So I guess they just want us to do return numbers.length. And bam. That should do it. Call get numbers length method and print the result. Okay, so over here, right, because my console, oh, it's right here. Okay, so it's been a minute. If you've forgotten, we need a system.out.println to make stuff appear down here. And then we need to call get numbers length. Well, it looks like they instantiated the class for us, right? So this will give us access to all of the stuff in there. So using this, I can call, and what this should do is now allow us, right? We make a new instance of the class. It's my array manager. Using my array manager, we can access all of this functionality. And so I say, hey, go ahead and print out my array manager get numbers length. Okay? So you could also do though, int x equals. This would do the same thing. Let's just see. Right, so 10, or if you want to assign it to a variable first, identical. I like it the other way though, like this. But having it assigned to a variable might be a little easier to understand. Let me hit test real quick. Cool. Onward.